LV55 Media LLC presents the Forgotten Heroes interview series featuring Johnny J. Vickers, Part 3.
Where did he attend school before joining the Army?
I'm hating you're going to ask me that. I was going to ask that question, but I'll give it my best shot. In our little old town, I'm going to call it Conway, Arkansas. Now, probably a lot of people don't know. Said, Conway, Arkansas, where is that located? And I said, oh, that's about 25 miles north of Little Rock. Yeah, I've been to Little Rock. I said, well, did you go north on Highway 40? And they says, yeah. I said, about 25 miles out. What did you see? I didn't see anything. I said, you blinked your eye and passed it. Now, it's a little old country hick town called Conway, Arkansas. Maybe, seemed like when I left, there was somewhere around 2,000 people. Not many. Anyway, he went to Pine Street High School. Little building, one building, and I think they had about 8 rooms, and it was not unusual to see 3 and 4 classes in one room. It just wasn't enough room for everybody. And the books we had were, they were hand-me-downs, missing pages. I don't know where they got them from, but you could tell that we were second-hand class citizens getting books. But the one thing that really impressed me later on in life is to find out, I said, we must have had some smart teachers, pretty damn smart, to take them raggedy books and teach us kids how to make it in school. Now I have to remind you that Theodis was ahead of me in class. So just like I was talking to one cousin last night, Eleanor, and I was telling her, I said, boy, we had them old raggedy books, and I said, and this guy, he made it through the school. And she said, no, I'm going to let you know, I'm after you. She's about 5 years younger than me. She said, I used the same books you guys did, so nothing changed all those years. So then it got me to thinking, now, if he's an individual like me, I know what school he went to, because I went there. I know who the principal was. It was our uncle, the meanest man in town, Preston Mattison. So, and then I know the teacher, so he had to have some of the same teachers I did. So I'm looking at all of this stuff that we didn't have in teaching. So then when I got this book called The Lonely Eagles, when I started reading and started looking at the pictures, and first thing I started noticing that some of the guys, they give you the name of the graduating class. And I'm looking, I said, most of these guys are from from the South, and all these little old country towns I never even heard of. I said, so I had to believe that they had the same type of schooling that we did. Now, what made them so great that they could get up there in the air and fly these planes and do such great things? So then that brought me back to, I said, it must be the teachers we had, and the perseverance that we had to succeed under all of these adverse conditions. I said, it's amazing. Now that's just an afterthought when I start kind of looking at things. And I would say most of those 1,000 pilots, they all came from little country hick towns like I came from, or Theodis came from. So that kind of gives you some idea of what they did with what little they had. So I'd say that's outstanding. Great. And if you ever listen to some of them talk, give you a little spiel, they'll have you cracking up, even though they are crying about how they were treated during the growing up and the time they went in the Air Force and what they did, and even some of the ways that they were treated when they came back. So all of that it just kind of fascinates me, and I get a big kick out of it and think I have to laugh with them. Maybe I'm just laughing to keep from crying. I don't know. Oh, heck, what a life. Only in America could you have something like this.
This interview was conducted on location by Tracy Dominguez in San Diego, California, September 2012.